Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to 10 celebrities who ruined their careers in 2024. So we all know about the popular ones, or maybe infamous is the right word to describe them. You know, we're talking the P. Diddy's, we're talking kind of the Jay-Z's, but there's more. There's definitely some that I've not really heard much about, like Blake Lively. I think she's the partner of Ryan Reynolds. I think she's been involved in some kind of controversy as well. It's, you know, it must be, because it's quite easy to, it's hard to break into that sort of celebrity realm, but then to end your career, you can do it like that, can't you?
Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And
He has some bangers, man. It cannot be denied. He has some bangers.
today we're looking at famous figures whose reputations were seriously damaged in 2024.
J-Lo.
Well, some may rebound by this time next year. Others seem destined to traverse a long, possibly infinite road with redemption forever out
Schneider.
of reach.
The notion that I had the power to just produce whatever I wanted and have it air is completely false.
Not really.
Okay,
You
there
were
were many levels of scrutiny.
Nah, don't buy
Katy
it.
Perry,
Sexy, confident,
Oh, this weird song.
so intelligent.
143 marked Katy Perry's first studio album in nearly 4 years. Perry took a hiatus from original music, focusing on American Idol, her Vegas residency, and her daughter. Motherhood and female empowerment were the inspirations behind songs like Woman's World. Many found this hypocritical, considering that Perry collaborated on the album with Dr. Luke, who was accused of sexually assaulting Kesha years earlier.
She's a winner, champion, superhuman, number one.
Kesha also claimed
Honestly, it sounds like that song was written by ChatGPT, doesn't it? Those lyrics are so basic.
Luke assaulted Perry, which she denied. Although Kesha's case was settled out of court, Perry's controversial decision to re-team with Luke sent a mixed message. It didn't help that the album itself was a critical dud and underperformed on the charts, with the consensus being that Perry lost her spark following so much time away from songwriting.
It's a woman's world and you're lucky to be living in it.
Jennifer Lopez.
It sounds like it belongs in like 2012, doesn't it? It just sounds dated.
Pop superstar Jennifer Lopez has new music on the way. J-Lo celebrated the 20th anniversary of her hit album, This Is Me Then, by announcing a new project called This Is Me Now. The soon-to-be-released record will chronicle Lopez's life journey across the last 20 years, with new songs about her childhood, as well as her history of unsuccessful relationships.
Jennifer Lopez seemed poised to kick off 2024 on a high note with her 9th studio album, This Is Me Now. Lopez herself covered the album's $20 million budget, an investment she seemed likely to make back, given the high volume of publicity. The album even received a companion documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, which some, specifically those from the Bronx, found inauthentic.
I've never been involved with any major studio, small independent production company, anything that has given me a deal on paper. Here, we will give you this for this. A $30 million deal and then taking it off the table.
The album's reception wasn't much better, not even cracking the Billboard 200's top 20. Although a tour was planned, Lopez pulled the plug only a few months before her divorce from Ben Affleck was announced. In addition to rumors about Bennifer, Lopez's past relationship with P. Diddy returned to the zeitgeist amid his scandal. Yeah, we'll get to that later.
You've been showing all the musicians all the letters that, and they were like, yeah, we call you Penn Affleck. And I was like, oh my God. I did really find the beauty and the poetry and the irony in the fact that it's the greatest love story never told.
What's he
Blake
talking
Lively.
about?
The beauty.
Just rambling. Yeah, I think with J-Lo, it's just, you know, it's played out. It's played out. Just let it go. Just let it go.
Of what a flower is has been lost, right? It's like we order them like takeout now. It's yes, right? You know, so it's what you're talking about. It's highlighting the pain and the tension and the, you know, the fact that it's fleeting. It's storytelling, and I don't know. That's actually what I find beautiful about it.
As far as box office goes,
Blah,
you
blah, blah,
enjoyed a
blah,
better
blah,
year than Blake Lively. She had a prominent cameo in the billion-dollar blockbuster Deadpool and Wolverine, and headlined another
I never
hit
saw it.
with
Was
It
it
Ends
any
With
good?
Us. Doing publicity for the latter film, though, Lively's public image suffered. Lively was already under a magnifying glass due to her alleged feud with director/co-star Justin Baldoni.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You got it. You got to stop. You have to stop this. Please.
What?
Just the, staring at me like that and the...
I'm just looking at you.
Okay, you're just looking at me. Stop showing up at my flower shop and sending
My
me
sister works
flowers.
Since the film explores domestic violence, many found it tone-deaf that Lively promoted her new hair care brand around this time. Although a source claims the product launch wasn't meant to coincide with the film's release, it made for an uncomfortable connection with Lively at the center. Lively nonetheless maintained a flowery presence while doing press, suggesting moviegoers adopt a similar floral ensemble.
Are you happy?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Weird.
I wasn't.
Neil Gaiman.
Sometimes I wish that the attention that celebrities got, like scientists got it instead, like doctors, people that actually contribute to society in a really useful way. I wish that we could just take all of that attention and money and just point it at like scientists and doctors and people like that.
From Coraline to Stardust to the Sandman series, Neil Gaiman is a prolific author whose influence has extended to TV and film. While his stories and their adaptations may endure, Gaiman's career possibly reached its abrupt end in 2024 as 5 women accused him of sexual misconduct. Among Gaiman's accusers was his child's former nanny, who had been a fan before he allegedly assaulted her hours after their first meeting. Although Gaiman has denied the accusations against him, several of the productions associated with him were put on hold. This included the final season of Good Omens, which will now be produced as a 90-minute special without Gaiman's involvement. Disney's film adaptation of Gaiman's The Graveyard Book also might be dead and buried after this. Little Dirk.
I'm in the trenches, relax. Can you not pet that little boy in the club? Cause we do not listen to raps.
In 2022, rapper Quando Rondo, his sister, and his cousin, Lil Pab, were the victims of an LA shooting that cost the latter their life. 2 years later, 6 arrests were made in the case. All of them had ties to the Only the Family record label, including its founder, Little Dirk Devontae Banks.
Alex, this is a very serious charge. Conspiracy is one of those charges that all it takes is voluntary knowledge. So as long as you had any conversation with 2 or more about something, a plan to further this plot for hire, and it resulted in a death, you are looking at those either life imprisonment and up to the death penalty.
Wow.
Little Dirk is the suspected ringleader in a murder-for-hire plot that supposedly targeted Rondo as retribution for the killing of King Von. In exchange for Rondo's life, Little Dirk allegedly offered his 5 associates a hefty payday and future perks. Dirk has pleaded not guilty, although he's likely to remain in custody leading up to his trial, which is set for early 2025.
Chicago rapper Lil Durk has pleaded not guilty to a murder-for-hire plot in L.A. Reports out of L.A. say Durk, whose real name is Dirk Devontae Banks, entered the plea this afternoon and was ordered held in the federal prison there. Dirk is accused of paying 5 people to kill a rival in L.A.
Sean Kingston.
Why do they do this stuff? Like, you've made it. Like, you're making real money from your rap career. Why are you still involved in that shit? It's just so dumb. It's like so dumb. Like, you finally made enough money to move out of the hood, move your family out of the hood. Enjoy it. Like, live a, peaceful life.
You're way too beautiful.
Oh, great song.
Girl. That's why it'll never work.
Sean Kingston is another singer who went to jail in 2024, although he might be the only one who faced the music with his mother, Janice Turner. The mother and son were arrested following a raid at Kingston's Miami mansion, which he rents. 2 months later, they found themselves being indicted.
Why did he have to drop that in, which you rent?
For wire fraud and conspiracy.
This came all after BSO received complaints that the singer had not completed certain payments. So he was not home when they raided his house, so he was arrested over in California. His mother arrested right here in South Florida.
Kingston and Turner stand accused of fraudulently purchasing $1 million worth of luxury items that they allegedly didn't pay for. It isn't the first time Turner has been linked to theft. A year before Kingston released Beautiful Girls, Turner pleaded guilty to bank fraud, serving 1.5 years. Kingston and Turner could see much longer sentences if found guilty this time, amounting to 20 years per count.
Wow.
Jimmy, Mr. Beast, Donald.
God, man, why are you doing fraud? Like, just live within your means. Like, $1 million worth of products. Didn't they think the bank would come back to them for that?
Well, it's not the Hunger Games, but Beast Games. That's at the center of the lawsuit here. Amazon MGM Studios announced the show and its $5 million cash prize. Now 5 people are taking the company that produces Mr. Beast's show and Amazon to court in California. They cite poor working conditions.
Whether you call him Jimmy or Mr. Beast, this internet personality has dominated social media for more than a decade. He's even ventured beyond the web as of late with Amazon Prime Video, picking up the reality competition series Beast Games. This series has also been the subject of controversy, as multiple contestants have named Mr. Beast, Amazon, and others in a class action lawsuit.
Previously, when we've asked Mr. Beast reps about similar allegations, they pointed to his charity work. They also told us that one particular shoot in Vegas was, quote, unfortunately complicated by unexpected logistical and communications issues, and they've taken steps to ensure that we learn from this experience.
The accusations include being deprived of essential resources like food, receiving no overtime pay, and enduring sexual harassment. It wasn't the first time that Mr. Beast faced allegations of creating a toxic work environment. Whether or not the lawsuit plays in his favor, the scandal gave the show a bad reputation before it even debuted, calling Mr. Beast's future endeavors into question.
So he is hugely influential, hugely popular, despite some of this bad press that is now coming out. So we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out, of course, for Mr. Beast and his brands going forward. But nonetheless, very popular amongst the younger folk, shall we say.
Those kids these days. All right, I'm going to have to tune in. Yasmin, thanks very much.
Kanye West.
Man, I mean, I'm not saying Mr. Beast is innocent or anything like that, but it seems funny to me, you know, when people enter a game show, you know, that's all about like one winner. Like the conditions aren't going to be fantastic because they want people to drop out of the competition. And then they took him to court. I mean, I don't know enough about the conditions they were in, but couldn't they have just left the competition? They could have just walked away if they didn't like the conditions.
What you doing in the club on a Thursday? She said she only here for a girl birthday.
From interrupting Taylor Swift's VMA acceptance speech to breaking bread with a white nationalist, Kanye West has quote-unquote ruined his career more than a few times over the years. Yet, there's rarely been an erratic decision he couldn't bounce back from. 2024 might mark the beginning of Ye's true downfall, however. Former assistant Lauren Pashada has brought multiple lawsuits against West, accusing the rapper of wrongful termination, breach of contract, and sexual harassment.
They order champagne but still look thirsty. Rock forever 21 but just turned 30.
This includes allegedly being drugged and assaulted during a recording session linked to West and P. Diddy. While West called Pashada's accusations baseless, he's facing yet another lawsuit from America's Next Top Models, Jen Ann, who claims he sexually strangled and gagged her on a music video set in 2010.
I know I got a bad reputation. Walk around always mad reputation. Leave a pretty girl sad reputation.
Dan Schneider.
Kanye, man. Love his music, or loved his music. He definitely has mental health issues for sure that were probably worsened when he lost his mum. It just all fell apart really at that moment. Hope he gets the help he needs.
Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Some might argue that Dan Schneider's career was ruined several years ago when accusations of his allegedly cruel and unethical behavior first surfaced, leading to his termination at Nickelodeon. Whatever little hope of a comeback was seemingly crushed in 2024 with the docuseries Quiet on Set. Although he wasn't the only controversial figure covered, much of the reported trauma at Nickelodeon was traced back to Schneider.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong.
Who was he giving massages to? What, like the young actors? Okay, that's weird.
It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today.
Of course you
wouldn't. That I
wouldn't.
did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation.
As news stories of sexism and angry outbursts were revealed,
Weird.
Schneider responded in an interview with iCarly actor Boogie. While Schneider owned up to a few of his mistakes, he claimed some of the accusations against him were untrue. Many viewed the video as a disingenuous apology, writing off Schneider for good if they hadn't already.
No writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses. Most TV writers...
He doesn't really look apologetic, does he? He just looks defiant here.
Comedy writers have been in writers' rooms and they are aware that a lot of times there are inappropriate jokes made and inappropriate topics come up.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our
Do you
channel
buy
and
that?
ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
P. Diddy.
The case against Sean Combs might as well just be called the freak-offs. these allegedly illegal freak-offs. It's all about the freak-offs in one way, shape, or form.
Freak-offs?
Freak-offs.
Freak-offs. Freak-offs.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
Prosecutors say that these were elaborately produced events.
It's safe to say that no celebrity had a more substantial fall from grace in 2024 than Sean Combs. Depending on how things go in 2025, it could be the biggest downfall since Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby. The leaked video of Diddy assaulting former partner Cassie Ventura would have been enough to warrant a spot here. The PR nightmare continued to balloon as 120 accusers took legal action against Diddy, citing various sex crimes.
Federal prosecutors said Sean Combs did not act alone. He had assistants, managers, security staff who would make sure that women and male prostitutes were at these freak-offs, that the hotel rooms where they were staged were stocked with supplies like baby oil and lubricant.
Many supposedly took place at Diddy's so-called freak-offs, painting his once revered parties in a more disturbing light. Time will only tell if this is truly the end of Diddy's career. If Diddy is convicted, though, numerous other big names could be dragged down with him.
The culture of silence was colossal. You know, it really protected Sean for a number of years.
These people think that they're so powerful that was never going to catch up with them.
Which celebrity would you...
If he manages to get away with this, wow. If Sean manages to get away with this, like if he manages to walk away with a prison sentence of, let's say, 5 years or less, he has the greatest legal team I've ever seen, ever. Like, it looks like, based on what I've seen, he's probably going to do multiple decades. You know, the amount of charges, the charges themselves, the nature of the charges, it just doesn't look good whatsoever. The video proof we've seen of him and Cassie in that hotel, it just adds more credibility to the charges. You know, the only thing I suppose that could get him off is the powerful people that he has on camera at these parties, you know, partaking in the sordid activities. Like, if he's got some real heavy hitters, and apparently he does, you know, that he could potentially use that as a maybe blackmailing tool, potentially. Who knows? But yeah, I would be surprised if he walks away with 5 years or less. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.